What's up, criminals? It's Shefsky here. I'm recording this from my house from my laptop, so I apologize if the sound is weak AF. And you guys deserve the best. Crime listeners are the best. You guys have been so cool to us, and it's just been an amazing. What has it been, like a year and a half of getting to know people, and it's just been a blast. And we're so excited to get to entertain you guys. And it's been really crazy lately because Slayton had his first child. And I told him it was going to be tough. I had my kid. My kid's already 2. I'm like, dude, it's going to be crazy. You're not going to be sitting up till 6 in the morning playing video games, smoking pot, bro. It's not going to work like that. And he's like, oh, whatever, Shefsky. And then his baby went and popped right out of his wife. And he was like, whoa, this is a lot of responsibility, Shefsky. Oh, my God, color me purple. So it's been crazy. And he got his job being a referee on the video game show, the video game, what is it, Battle Clash Royale. He's not a referee, he's a color commentator. So he's doing this awesome job. If you tune into that show, you'll get to actually hear his voice and hear him doing play-by-play and saying cool stuff. You know, oh, here he goes, look at him, he's going, oh, he scores! Like, it's really cool. It's really cool, and I'm very proud of him. And you guys should be proud of your Slady baby, too. So it's very cool, but this takes a lot of time to make the crime episodes. So we're moving to every other week for the time being, because it takes like 10 hours of prepping to get these episodes ready for you guys, and it's just we can't get that done in time right now. We want to give you guys the best. We don't want to be throwing together sloppy episodes. We want to put together quality content for you guys, and we're still going to be doing content on Patreon every week. We're going to still be putting up our boner episodes. I'm still going to be riffing on random crime stories and random podcast experiments I'm going to put up there. I got one podcast experiment that's really fun that I'm excited for you guys to listen to. It's just called Fantasy House, where I just interview people and ask them to describe their fantasy houses. It's like no holds barred, Rick and Morty, Futurama level, just like whatever your imagination can come up with. What kind of house would you build? You know, would you have an orgy buffet? Would you have a holodeck like on the Starship Enterprise? Would you have a giant hockey rink in your basement? Like anything. You can just come up with the craziest stuff. So I'm just interviewing friends and having that. So that's going to be on Patreon, just those interviews, and just lots of fun stuff. So I'll have tons of comedy for you, tons of good weird riffing and all that stuff. And also, if you guys are going to be, anyone's going to be in Sacramento, we'll be at the Sacramento Comedy Festival on October 13th. I think it's a Saturday. We are doing our third Crime Live! Oh, so excited about that. So if anybody's up in the Sacramento area, let us know. If you're a Patreon subscriber, of course you get whatever we can give you for free, or however we can get you guys tickets to it. You're there. And everybody else, hit us up, email us. Even if you just write us a nice email, maybe we could figure out a way to get you in there. We just want to see everyone who's a crime listener come out and wave their big foam fingers and go, sorry, Mom. And today I prepared for you some crime stories. It's just me reading them by myself at the Comedy Store. I know it sounded really sad the way I said that, but it's actually a lot of fun. I'm just sitting there by myself reading these scary-ass stories about these wacky-ass motherfucking criminals. Holy shit, there are some weird people out there. I hope you guys enjoy it. Be silly, have fun, and enjoy the episode. Mwah.
Crime bonus episode with just Shefsky. This is a low-fat edition. I hope Slade doesn't listen to this. He'll be very bummed if he hears that. It is just me in the studio enjoying myself all alone. I'm going to read some crime news from the interwebs and see where it takes us. First article that I'm pulling up right now. King of Instagram, Dan Bilzerian, has warrant out for his arrest in Azerbaijan. Okay. Am I pronouncing that right? Azerbaijan? First of all, does anyone care if you have a warrant out for your arrest in Azerbaijan? Just stay away from Azerbaijan. And what are they going to come get you? No one ever gets extradited to Azerbaijan, as far as I know. Dan Bilzerian from Azerbaijan. That actually makes a good rhyme, doesn't it? I love how it says King of Instagram. Says who? Anyone ever been to Instagram /John Shefsky? He's a contender. Doesn't Dan's beard upset you? Like, if he shaved it off and his jaw was actually that sharp, I would be kind of grossed out. It'd be like the devil in that movie that Tom Cruise was in, Legend. Let's read this article. The country of Azerbaijan. All right, already you lost me. No one gives a shit what you have to say, Azerbaijan. What's your economic produce? What do you come up with? What do you guys do? That's so rude of me. They might be a wonderful country of beautiful people. They might not be an economic contender, but they're a human contender. Azerbaijan. The country of Azerbaijan has issued an arrest warrant for Dan Bilzerian, the social media celebrity with a lavish lifestyle known as the King of Instagram. Anyone ever seen his Instagram? It's kind of obnoxious. First of all, he doesn't have any. He has all these like plasticky chicks on there with fake boobs and all this stuff, and he like parades them around, and you could tell that they don't really like him. You could tell they're just getting paid to hang out with him. That's not charming. I guess it's charming if you're like 12. Even at that age, I was like, gross, dude. They look like American kabuki chicks. They got so much makeup on. It's so weird. And he's just paying them to hang out. He's got a bunch of guns. He's basically like a millionaire 12-year-old that grew up. And he's like, I got a bunch of guns, chicks with big tits, and helicopters. And you're like, yeah, but do the chicks actually like your conversation styles? It doesn't matter. I got a bunch of guns, chicks with big tits, and helicopters. The more I say it, the more I'm like, he actually does sound like he has a pretty decent life. People confirms that. Oh, this is a People, by the way. I'm just going off people.com. It seems like such a nice title for like a website that's just all trash and sad and scary and gross stuff. People, oh, people are great. Then you read it, it's like, woman shoots her son with bow and arrow, son dies. Well, that's an example of People. People confirms that the investigative department of the Prosecutor General's Office of Azerbaijan, please tell me if I'm pronouncing that right. Is that really how it is? Azerbaijan? Ay. Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. That sounds like a Yiddish term. Azerbaijan! No, it sounds Italian, huh? Azerbaijan has initiated a criminal case against Bilzerian. See, it just sounds like two countries fighting. Azerbaijan and Bilzerian. Alleging he illegally visited Nagorno-Karabakh. Wow, it's like I'm just reading Klingon over here. A region that is the subject of a conflict between Azerbaijan and Armenia. Uh-oh, don't mess with Armenia. You've seen what they've done to Glendale. You know what they'll do to your face? Authorities allege that Bilzerian illegally acquired grenades and firearms before demonstratively, that's a quote, opening fire at a shooting range. Oh, he was just at a shooting range, dude. That sentence started off like, what did this motherfucker do with these grenades? Huh? Did he go to the locals like they do in the Western movies and tell them to dance? Dance! Dance, boy! And throw grenades at their feet? No, he was at a shooting range. Well, let's see what the next sentence says. The exact charges Bilzerian faces were not immediately clear. Nothing's immediately clear in Azerbaijan. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust anyone, and nothing's immediately clear there. And don't just eat off of any taco cart. They have a suspiciously low feral cat population. I'm just saying. The alleged incident occurred after a trip to that Bilzerian, 37. Why'd they have to say his age? Why'd they have to tell us that he's 37? To make other 37-year-olds feel bad that they don't have helicopters, a bunch of guns, and a bunch of chicks with big fake boobs that just hang out with them all day while they play poker? Is that what they're trying to do, make us feel guilty? Am I projecting? The alleged incident occurred after a trip that Bilzerian, 37, made to the neighboring country of Armenia. They're just jealous. They're just jealous he went to another country. Oh, my country's not good enough for you? Bro, why don't you stay over here in Azerbaijan? Why do you have to go to Armenia? Huh? We've got the same flavored rice. Bilzerian, who's of Armenian descent. Well, this story just gets farther and farther into me thinking, well, what did the guy really do wrong? He's Armenian. He wanted to go see some of his ancestors, maybe even family members that are still living. Just because he didn't get a pass from your country because you guys are at war with him? And then you're issuing arrest warrants that no one's going to pay attention to because no one even knew that your country existed until Borat made a movie about it. Bilzerian, who is of Armenian descent, arrived at the capital city of Yerevan on Monday. The city of Yerevan? Do you think anyone ever goes like, Yerevan? Yerevan! No, Yerevan! No, Yerevan! No, Yerevan! No, Yerevan! He and his brother took part in a naturalization ceremony where they became Armenian citizens, per the laws of the country. He also registered for military service. Oh, that's where they're pissed. That's where they got mad. They're battling Armenia, and then you just you went through their country, and then you registered for military service. Yeah, okay, I can see. Dan, what are you doing? I was defending you up until that paragraph. Bilzerian tells people that after the ceremony, he traveled to Karabakh with a group of other people. Though of that group, only Bilzerian has been charged with a crime. Yeah, well, that's what you get, huh? What do they say? Like the loudest squeaky wheel gets the grease? right? The loudest, most popular Instagram gets the arrest warrant. That's what happens. A source in the Bilzerian government told Armenian public radio, that's the only radio they have there, by the way. It's just a bunch of walkie-talkies and guys going, bro, can you hear me? No, can you hear me? I'll call you back in a second, man. I can't hear you. The eggplant's almost finished roasting. Interpol will search for the criminal Interpol's. I love it because it's a People magazine, so it's like, this is for people that read People magazine. You probably didn't know what Interpol is. So in parentheses, it says, Interpol is the international organization that facilitates cooperation between police forces. I think everyone knows that, okay? We've all watched BBC dramas before. We've heard of Interpol, okay? We've also heard of the band Interpol. We know what's up. Bilzerian is the CEO of Ignite, a producer of cannabis products that are sold in licensed dispensaries in the states where it is safe and legal, or where its sale is legal. Where it's safe and legal, everyone knows cannabis is never safe. You mess with the devil's weed, you deal with the devil's consequences, all right? He tells people he thinks that the arrest warrant was a politically motivated. Of course it was, Dan. Dan, you're very smart for a 37-year-old, okay? You've got helicopters, you've got tons of guns, and you've got a lot of women that have plastic surgery that hang out with you. We know you're intelligent, okay? I want to do like a Dan Bilzerian, but like the everyman Dan Bilzerian, you know, like Dan Bilzerian or something like that, where he just hangs out with like actual like regular, just like healthy women that just, you know, eat regular food and don't wear too much makeup and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And like instead of riding in helicopters, they just take like lift lines everywhere. I think that would be a fun show. They go to the rifle range and they just have like stock, like really boring. Like this is a 45 caliber, and you know it's doesn't really do much. Doesn't have any mods on it. It's just regular rounds, and we can only afford to actually buy one case of bullets. So thanks for hanging out with Broke Bilzerian. Oh, and I don't play poker because I don't know how. I'll just play a little Uno if you have it, or Connect 4 if you've got the whole box. They only issued the warrant for my arrest and nobody else on the trip, he says. I think it's because I'm a public figure and they want to try to make an example out of me. Wow, Dan. Nothing gets passed by you and that big, sharp, scary beard of yours. It appears that the country of Armenia is supporting Bilzerian. Hell yeah, they're like picking sides. They're like, this is our chance. Hey, fuck you. He is ours. We own Dan. The other country's like, give him back to us. We are going to punish him. Fuck you. He is ours. Oh, just an argument between two people with those kind of accents. It is a pleasure. I lived in Glendale for like 3 years. I saw a lot of arguments like that. I'll never forget. It was great. A lot of arguments. I lived on Great Street. People confirms with the Consulate General of Armenia that the nation has contacted Interpol. Interpol, remember that thing we just talked about? And urged them to dismiss Azerbaijan's prosecution of Bilzerian as political. Bilzerian vows to fight the charges, but he says he's focused on his work at Ignite. He recently unveiled a search for spokesmodels for his new business. What a creep. Oh, Dan, you're rich enough and you're good looking enough that I think you just get away with it, but what a creep. It's like the article had to end with, he recently unveiled a search for spokesmodels for his new business, paying $1 million. First of all, Dan, we know you're paying $1 million for these models to be your fucking girlfriends. Okay? Second of all your Instagram has been for the past 5 years is you hanging out with hired help. It's just been you and these chicks in neon bathing suits hanging out. Even that video you did, the Monster Energy drink with what's his name, BJ Baldwin, the trophy truck racer with the Monster Energy trophy truck, and Dan's in a helicopter with the chicks, and BJ's coming down the hill in Mexico on this badass like $1 million trophy truck, and they may meet up at the end or whatever, and they risk the girls' lives by like BJ jumps the truck over the girls. The girl's like, whatever, you paid me, right? I've got insurance. What the hell's gonna happen, right? Can't be more dangerous than going through Dan's fucking loaded gun safe. And then that's at the end of the article. He recently unveiled a search for spokesmodels. Dan, you already hired. You've got all those models. You're not going to hire in-house? How fucking rude is that? Those chicks, that's what they do for a living. They already work for you. I'm sure 75 to 90% of them have proven to you that they're great professional models. You got to publicly ask, like, how do you think that makes them feel? That's their gig. They're like, were we not good enough for Dan? We've been in all of his videos. We've been hanging out at his house, fucking watching him shave his fucking chest every day as he, like... Now he's hiring outside of us? It's because he's dating these chicks, so he's getting bored of them, and he's objectifying them. God damn it, Dan. I supported you at the beginning of this, and I am glad that you went to Armenia and got in touch with your roots, but holy shit, you're such a fucking bro! You know what the sad thing is? I like all the sports that he's involved in. I like all the... Actually, I don't like poker that much. I don't give a fuck about cards. What am I, a cowboy? Kind of. I'm a cowboy that can't play cards. and is scared of riding horses because they're high up. But I am a cowboy, Dan. Don't threaten me, Dan. Dan Bilzerian, if that is your real name. Wasn't he didn't he claim to be a Navy SEAL, and then a bunch of Navy SEALs came out and they were like, he's not a Navy SEAL, and he could never have ran and done all the tests we do with his broken femurs, so he lied. And I was like, oh, man. There's like nothing worse than like a trying to claim being a Navy SEAL, and then like actual Navy SEAls are on other podcasts and they're like, that guy's not a Navy SEAL. Like nothing feels worse. But I don't want to like rag on Dan. I don't know him. He's probably just a nice guy that I'm just seeing through social media and projecting my own beliefs on him. Everybody's an individual. I'm gonna have to meet him. Dan, come do an episode of Crime, Dan. Do you think Dan can riff? Do you guys think Dan can riff? I've never seen him riff. You think he could? Crime bonus episode. This is another one. A crime bonus episode with just Shefsky. Reading the crime news. Come on down. Let's sit down together and read the crime news. Come on. Pull up a chair. Play with your hair. Don't sit there. That seat is dirty. Come on down and sit next to Shefsky and let's read the crime news together. Ooh, it's like that could be the theme song. It'd be like a Jimmy Buffett with like the steel drums in the background. Come pull up a chair, it don't matter where. Let's just sit down and read the crime news together. La da da do, shla do ba do, do. This story is not as fun as Dan's because this one starts with the sad words, "Mom dies in a car crash after boyfriend allegedly cut the brake lines to make crack pipe." First of all, it's 2018. I think you've seen New Jack City. You've heard all the stories. You know Richard Pryor caught himself on fire with his crack pipe. There's never been a good story about anyone doing crack. I challenge any listener to send us a story about someone smoking crack and then passing their SATs and getting accepted to Harvard. I challenge anyone to write me a story about Francis Crick and his homie smoking crack, then understanding and discovering like the DNA helix. You know what I mean? I challenge you. Someone tell me something good that happens. There's too much internet. There's too much information for people to still be smoking crack in 2018. Crack and meth. I don't get it. Let's go on with this story. A Pennsylvania mom of 5 is dead following a car crash that police say was caused after her boyfriend cut the vehicle's brake lines for a material to make a crack pipe. Fucking A, man. A mother of 5. Although, who are the kids going to end up with now? The crackhead boyfriend? Tammy Fox, 38 of Scranton. Just 38 of Scranton. Dude, it's the fucking city from The Office. Can't you stay away from crackheads in the city that they based the show The Office about? Jesus. Tammy Fox, 38 of Scranton, died from her injuries after her black Hyundai Sonata began to accelerate as she approached, then raced through an intersection and violently struck a tree. Oh, Tammy Fox. What a bummer. According to a news release Wednesday from Pennsylvania State Police, the resulting investigation became a criminal case after a mechanical inspection of the car revealed its brake lines had been severed, police said. Under questioning, John William Jenkins, 39, who was identified by police, he was 39, he was a year older than her. John William Jenkins, you were supposed to look out for her. You were her elder boyfriend. He was identified by police as Fox's boyfriend, admitted that on the evening prior to the crash, he cut the victim's brake lines while at their residence in an attempt to obtain a metal pipe that could be used to smoke crack cocaine. Well, can I ask you this, John fucking William Jenkins? Could you have cut the brake line and told her, "Hey, honey, don't take your car. Don't take the Hyundai tonight. I used part of it to make a crack pipe." What, did he not want to tell her? Is he secretly smoking crack, so he didn't want to tell her? Well, we all find out when you cut brake lines, buddy. That doesn't really stay secret for a long time. It's like getting a boner while wearing your cycling spandex. Can't hide that shit, John William Jenkins. Oh, you look at the picture of him. He does look like he's bummed that he fucking did it, unless he's just bummed that he got caught. He has the look of sadness in his eyes, in his mugshot. Oh, my God, John. That's very depressing. And he's got a script neck tattoo. It's always a sign of a quality human being. I'm covered in tattoos, guys. I'm not judging. I'm just riffing. Authorities arrested Jenkins on charges of criminal homicide. He is currently being held in the Luzerne County Jail on a hold for Lackawanna County with no bond listed. Jail records confirmed. It's unknown whether he has entered a plea, and an attorney who might speak on his behalf was not immediately identified. He is scheduled to be in court for a preliminary hearing on September 7th, the Lehigh Valley News reports. According to court documents obtained by the Associated Press, Jenkins claimed to police that Fox was, quote, driving him crazy because she was looking for a pipe to smoke crack in. Oh. She was looking for a pipe to smoke crack in. Oh my God. She's a mother of 5 kids and she's smoking crack. If you're listening to this episode and you're a mother of 5 kids and you're smoking crack, press pause on the episode right now and just go give yourself an intervention. Check yourself into a clinic. Get that shit taken care of. You can't be having kids and having crack at the same time. According to the documents, Jenkins said he didn't want to go to the store, so he started hacking. Oh my God. This is the saddest way that someone just died. Out of this guy's laziness and her crack addiction and then his ability to problem solve, it turned out to be the worst. Here's a quote. Tammy had the ability to bring light to dark times and gave selflessly to those around her, according to a GoFundMe page titled Justice for Tammy, seeking financial assistance for her family. She will be greatly missed, but will be with us in spirit, joining her mother in heaven. Well, that's wishful thinking. We'll see if that's the reality. Why would we be in heaven? What do you think? We just go up there and are we walking on clouds like a fucking Monty Python cartoon? Are we walking around in an alternate reality? You know, it's our physical brains that give us all the things that make us who we are. I just don't understand how we're up in heaven. But that's neither here nor there, and I'm not here to get metaphysical or get philosophical. I'm just a comedian with an internet page. That's the end of the article. That was a really depressing article. Let's lighten it up. Let's lighten it up with a cute article. Okay? You guys are going to like this one. You've probably already heard of it because it's on the motherfucking front page of everything. Okay? It says, Dine and Dash dater allegedly met women on apps, then bailed before dinner bill arrived. First of all, is that a crime? How do you know he just doesn't go on a bunch of dates and find out there's no connection, but I don't want to break her heart. I'm just going to leave after I finish my fettuccine. A California man whom authorities say trolled dating apps and websites for female dining companions is facing charges after allegedly bailing before the bills arrived and stranding his dates with the tab. Paul Guadalupe Gonzalez, 45. Oh, he is old to be doing this. Paul, that is something that a 22-year-old's supposed to do. You are 45, Paul. Pay for your own dinner, motherfucker. Men have been bitching about women doing this for centuries, and now that you get the chance, you're going to start doing it. That's not going to give us progress in the human race, folks. You can't go along and be like, now it's my turn. No, you're supposed to be like, we're all taking the higher ground now. It's like racism against white people. It's like, no. It's not like your turn to be racist against white people because white people were racist against you. It's all of our turn to not be racist together. Otherwise, we just have a cycle and our kids all suffer. Paul Guadalupe Gonzalez, 45, defrauded 8 women of more than $950 over a 2-year spree from May to 6. Yeah, I mean, that's 8 dates. Call me when fucking Paul Guadalupe is doing this fucking 20 days a month, and I'm like, oh my God, we got a serial fucking dinner skipper over here. Let's get him, boys. But this is 8 times. Maybe, I mean, if he's dating enough on these apps, I'd like to know what his full, like how many swings this motherfucker's taken. Because if he's going out on a bunch of dates and he's only done this 8 times, that just means he's been at weird meals and maybe even met really shallow dates and been like, this bitch thinks I'm going to pay for this shit. Peace, bitch. As he's in the bathroom, I'm just going to go powder my nose real quick, m'lady. I'll be right back. And then he just fucking gets in the car. You hear the screech right as the breadsticks are coming back. Oh, no, he'll be back in just a moment. You sure, ma'am? Because there was smoke underneath his feet like a fucking cartoon when he came out of that restroom. In an unrelated incident, he also allegedly skipped out on his bill at a hair salon. Okay, I feel like every time I'm reading these, I'm judging this shit, and then as I get like one paragraph further, I'm realizing how wrong I was about these people. Paul Guadalupe Gonzalez is a serial fucking skipper, because this is now in the hair salon. Now I'm getting fucking pissed. Hard-earned fucking people doing their job, cutting your fucking hair, getting all up in your annoying thievery face, and then you're skipping out instead of paying a fucking hairstylist. You know how hard it is to survive on a hairstylist salary? I'm sure this guy isn't going to the fucking $800 a haircut places. This guy's skipping out on someone that needed that cash. The reputation of Gonzalez as the, quote, dine and dash dater, unquote, as he is described in a news release from prosecutors, evolved after he allegedly went to dinner with his dates at restaurants in Pasadena, Long Beach, Burbank, and L.A. Oh, Paul Guadalupe, you're fucking right by us, huh? Right by the Comedy Store over here. Pasadena, maybe you went to the Ice House. Long Beach, maybe you went to the Laugh Factory. Burbank, nah, you didn't go to Flappers. That place fucking sucks. Quote, Gonzalez is accused of taking financial advantage of women he met mostly through dating apps and websites, unquote. According to authorities, on their dinner outings together, he ordered and consumed food and drinks, then allegedly left without paying any of the bill, said Deputy District Attorney Michael Fern of the DA's Cybercrime Division. I just can't help but read this and think, hey, cops, don't you have more important things to do? Aren't the fucking Catholic Church fucking every fucking kid left and right? Like, isn't there someone else you can be helping out right now? What are you, going undercover to catch the guy that stole fucking a few meals? I mean, it's a crime, but like, isn't it more of a crime that we're wasting resources over here? Aren't there some like terrorist plots to thwart? Isn't there like human trafficking problems? Meanwhile, this cop's like, I'm on it. Don't worry, folks. Not another $30 credit card bill for another one of these poor defenseless chicks. It is sad, but I just can't believe that like I don't know, this is crazy. Among 8 women who purportedly ended up paying the bill themselves, one did so in the belief that Gonzalez was going to pay her back, according to the DA office. I mean, these people had time to make a phone call? One time my friend Pat and I were at a sushi restaurant, and he accidentally ordered 10 salmon skin rolls. I don't know how it happened. No, 11, because, you know, you write down, you mark it down 1 and then 1. I think he thought he was marking down 2. They gave us 11 salmon skin rolls. First of all, you need 1 salmon skin roll to split between 2 people because it's not the kind of thing you need to eat a bunch of. And we got 11 of them delivered. And then the bill came, and Pat goes, hey, could you cover me? And I was like, sure. Pat probably knew that I couldn't afford it. It was going on my credit card. And he probably knew that we could have just sent him back. I mean, he probably didn't want to be embarrassed. Well, guess what? I paid for it. Did I call the fucking district attorney's office? No. I just made Pat buy me sushi a couple years later. These chicks should have caught up with Guadalupe Gonzalez, dude, Paul Guadalupe Gonzalez, and made him pay for it by tying him down and making him order Uber Eats or what is it, Grubhub. That way the food's overpriced and it's cold. And then just charge his credit card. They could have had like a little vigilante justice. That's a cool idea for a movie, huh? Like the 6 chicks that get together. And they just fucking make this guy pay for all these meals, but then somebody falls in love, and then it turns into a horror movie because they're out in the cabin, which is where they tied him up. And then the guys, the guy who actually has to save them at the end is the thief, Paul, and then he redeems himself, and the chicks are all stoked, and then they end up having a lifelong bond. And the very last scene is like a you find out that it's just been like the story's been getting told in the past, and like now they're all like best friends. They live in like a polygamy like compound in Mexico or something like that. And Paul is a very spiritual, like down to earth, but like spiritual guy that like kind of realizes the value of human relationships. And like even though karma might be a made up metaphysical thing, the concern for the well-being of your fellow creatures on the planet, it becomes a priority to Paul. And then they have this loving relationship, and all the chicks but then eventually they realize like I can't, they don't all want to share one man. It just isn't practical, and it's only for the man's fantasy. And what they really need to do is they need to go out and find loves, and all the women go out and they find their own love. Some of them actually turn out to be lesbians because they were only on dates with Paul when it first started, right? So they didn't even know their real preferences at that time. Some of them, just by law of average, one of them turns out to be a lesbian, right? And then they all go out, then they move from the compound and they go out into the rest of the world. One of them becomes like a research scientist, another one of them becomes a doctor, one of them becomes a police officer, one of them gets killed in a car wreck. That's always a bummer. It happens, but her boyfriend cut part of the tailpipe out to make a crack pipe out of, and that just ended up happening. Okay, I just tied a lot of stories together. That movie is being sold to 20th Century Fox. Never. An attorney who might speak on his behalf was not identified. He is next due in court on September 7th. A bail of $315,000. Isn't that a little excessive? The guy ripped off 8 people for dinners on dates. $315,000. This is what I'm talking about. I did a story last week where some guy got out who had assaulted a teenager 10 years ago, and then he tried to murder a chick on a jogging path, and he was let out of jail. Why did they let him out of jail? Because the jails are clogged up with people like this that did a crime that everyone's just like, whatever. This is what I'm talking about. We can't waste jail space on people like this. This guy, we could publicly shame him. We could put him on a talk show. We could send him on a reality show where they take like people that do petty crimes and like teach him everybody would win if you did that show like that and you taught this guy publicly how he made people feel by making them switch roles. Even the reality TV watching crowd could be at home and they'd be watching it. They'd learn about themselves. They'd see kind of, the TV networks taking a higher path. But instead, what do they do? They're putting this guy in jail with a bunch of murderers, rapists, and then all the other people that are, that shouldn't be in jail when we should have more room for murderers and rapists and all that stuff. Meanwhile, no one's been charged with the fucking financial crisis from 2008 when we know it was rigged. I mean, this is a fucking wild world, folks. We're going to move on to the next story. Georgia woman allegedly posed as dentist for 7 years. Who the fuck wants to pose as a dentist? 7 years? Well, I guess she collected a lot of money, right? Never mind. I guess I answered that one myself. Boing. And one patient got tennis ball-sized infection. Yeah, but where? What a headline, folks. We're doing more than headlines, okay? This is beyond headlines. Quote, "Let us make you smile," reads promotional copy for the website of county dental providers in Marietta, Georgia. But in her mugshot, the owner of the business isn't. That was a really long way to go for a small glass of water. Jeff Truesdale, who wrote this article. Authorities allege that Krista Shefsky, a Georgia woman who ran country dental providers for 7 years, posed as a dentist despite not having a license, performing procedures like tooth extractions and unknowing patients while also writing fraudulent prescriptions. I gotta just say, this lady's not a dentist and she's fucking doing tooth extractions. God bless the era of YouTube how-to videos. Am I right, folks? I mean, hell, I'll go on it when I forgot how to, adjust my suspension on my mountain bike and how to. But this lady's like, how to extract tooth without letting client know you are unqualified. In one instant, well, she could have gone to dental school and just not passed. So I'm totally judging before reading this. In one instance, a patient who allegedly had 2 teeth removed by Shefsky suffered a tennis ball-sized infection that sent him to the hospital. Dick Donovan, what a cool name. Dick Donovan, how you doing? The district attorney for the Paulding Judicial Circuit tells people, quote, "We had another guy that says he had to re-glue his crown every morning," he says. That's a pretty basic statement, though. Shefsky was arrested last week after a grand jury issued an indictment charging her with 40 counts of practicing dentistry without a license, 4 counts of forging prescriptions, and 4 counts of insurance fraud, according to the indictment, which it was obtained by People magazine. As more patient complaints have emerged, a second investigation into Shefsky has been opened in neighboring Cobb County. Doesn't that just make you want a fucking salad with eggs, crumbled up bacon, hold the blue cheese, tomatoes, sliced up onions, a bunch of delicious, fresh, crispy lettuce. And I like mine with ranch. I know I'm weird. A lot of people like blue cheese, and they like theirs with blue cheese. I like mine without the blue cheese crumbles and with ranch. And maybe even American cheese crumbles or slices or cheddar cheese slices or manchego, the Spanish cheese, which is the fucking bomb. I want to go to Cobb County. I want a Cobb salad in Cobb County. Who's counting now? I got a bounty out in the county out in Cobb salad. Jazz hands. As more patient complaints have emerged, a second investigation into Shefsky has been opened in neighboring Cobb County, specifically the city of Marietta, to which Shefsky relocated and, quote, very quietly, unquote, reopened her clinic after shutting down in Paulding County. Marietta police officer Chuck McClellan tells us. She has not entered a plea to the charges against her in Paulding County, Donovan says. Dick Donovan, that is. A call by people to her attorney, Jimmy Berry, was not immediately returned. Hey, Jimmy Berry, your attorney. My client has nothing to say. Huh? She's a dentist for all I know, too. She did my tooth. Look at my mouth. Ah, see how good she does? She's great. Let's go golfing with this golf ball-sized goiter I got from her. In an interview with Atlanta TV station WGCL, Schweizig said, quote, "It's definitely a personal vendetta," quote, by the prosecutor. She added, quote, "Sad situation, and I'm confident it'll be handled with a timely manner," unquote. What a Trump-style fucking, you can tell she's lying, but she just uses these, like, car salesman style, like, oh, it's definitely fake news. Very sad situation. I'm confident it'll get taken care of. Like, man, this lady should get into politics. You just avoided what happened there. You just avoided being honest with this. Dick Donovan said Schweizer's husband worked as a deputy sheriff in the Paulding County Courthouse. Oh, man, tied on in Hollywood land, dog. Your husband's a cop, too? Oh, doesn't he fight for what's right like many cops do? Jesus. The investigation into the Sizwick dates back to 2013 when the Georgia Board of Dentistry alerted the district attorney's office to complaints about Sizwick, who ran a business called County Dental Providers starting in 2011 that contracted with independent licensed dentists to come in and work on patients, Dick Donovan says. I won't just say his last name because it's too funny. Dick Donovan, how you doing there? Dick Donovan. Pleasure to meet you. Dick Donovan. According to the small print on County Dental Providers' website, it is, quote, solely a business service organization, which means we don't do dentistry or get involved in the decisions made between dentist and patient. Our affiliated dentists spend most of their time with their patients delivering high-quality patient care, while our highly trained business professionals manage the business aspects of their practices. Let me just paraphrase that for you. We don't really care if our dentists know what they're doing or get people sick. We just collect the money. The problem, Dick Donovan alleges, is that Sizwick, who was doing the dental work when the doctors weren't there. Oh, Sizwick, you sneaky bitch. Everyone's gone. I think you'd notice that, though, if you came into the dental office, right? Where is everyone? They're at lunch right now. Would you like to come in? Sure. Why did you make my appointment for 9:15 p.m.? No worries. Let me just pull your tooth out with this thing I got here at Ace Hardwick. Ace Hardware. I almost said Ace Hardwick, which is what happens when Chris Hardwick invests into Home Depot orchard-like businesses. Ace Hardwick. That was a tough joke to hope you guys are laughing at. I hope you're just driving and someone honked their horn when I said that punchline, and so you missed it, and you think it was funny, and you don't rewind it, and you don't think back and go, oh, well, that was not worth rewinding. Shefsky, Chris Hardwick joke? Oh, after he's been through so much. Poor little fella. The state board's 2013 alert prompted a criminal investigation at the time that led to a single charge in Paulding County accusing Sheswick of, I'm probably saying it worse, Sheswick, of performing dental services without a license, the district attorney says. But on the DA's recommendation, Sheswick was enrolled in a pre-trial diversion program that did not require her to enter a plea and instead allowed for the charge to be dropped if she successfully completed the program. This was the only instance of which we were aware at the time. So we just said, don't do this anymore, says Dick Donovan. I got a notice saying she had completed the program. About the same time, I heard from the Board of Dentistry that she was back at it again. A subsequent reinvestigation that unfolded over a year and a half came up, and another 18 alleged victims. Oh, man. This is what's sad. It sounds like nothing. It sounds like a blue-collar crime. But they're victims. They're physical victims. It's people that are suffering physically because of this lady doing something she doesn't know how to fucking do. And you've heard on crime episodes, we've had con artists on there before. We had ladies, we had a few doctors that were doing things to people that were killing them, making them suffer. Meanwhile, they didn't know what they were doing. It's sad. Since the news of last week's indictment went public, we have had about 15 more people come to our office and say, quote, hey, she did this to me too, he says. We probably will have to re-indict her and see where to go from there. Keep her in jail. Can't trust this bitch because you had her out. She already got in trouble. Then she moved to another county to do this. Gross. Gross, lady. I like it when criminals learn their lesson their first time and go like, whoa, I was dancing with the devil and I got away easy and I'm not going to do that anymore. I like it when people do that. I do that myself. It's called growth. You realize that's not good. I used to steal little Star Wars figures when I was a kid. I would go to like Toys R Us with my buddies. With teenagers, we were 15, 16 years old. We would just walk in and be like, let's just grab it. And we'd get a rush from taking a Star Wars figure. And then one day I realized, like, that's just not right. I rationalized it. I was like a teenager. I was punk rock. I was like, what does Toys R Us care about the Star Wars figures? They're a big company. Meanwhile, you guys noticed any Toys R Us's lately? They're out of business. Not because of me and my friends. I'm just saying. It's just wrong to steal. You know, unless it's an emergency. If you had to steal, it's like that old psychological test, you know, where they go like, is it wrong to steal if you have to steal heart medication for your grandpa or whatever? Is it more morally wrong to steal, or if your grandpa? Of course not. No, you got to jack the medicine for Gramps. But stealing to steal, taking advantage of people because it's like this lady should have had a different job. She should have taken the lesson. She got caught already. You get caught, you go, whew, that was close, man. I'm going to take this as a chance. I'm going to use this as a chance to straighten out and find the right path. A guy hit me in my car, and he was buzzed, but he wasn't drunk. He was just buzzed. And I told him, I was like, hey, bud, could you do me a favor? Could you just never drive under the influence again? And he's like, yeah, I'll take this as a warning. And I was like, thank you. And I knew he didn't need to have the cops called on him. He wasn't a fucking shit-hammered, like, murderer behind the wheel. He was just a little buzzed. And he bent down to get his cell phone at a stoplight and let go of the brake of his car and of his truck. He had a big F-250. An F-250 against my little Civic. Huh? And he just bumped into me and my wife. And it wasn't nothing crazy. He broke my bike rack on the back. It didn't snap. He just bent it. He made it unusable. And but nobody got hurt. And the guy's taking it as a lesson. I haven't kept up with him. Should I check in with him like Brad Pitt on Fight Club? If you aren't enrolled in dentist school, next time I visit you, I'm going to fucking murder you. I just come back to his house. I'm like, if you are not sober driving every day, there's going to be problems, buddy. No, he seemed like a nice enough guy, and I think he fucking took it as a lesson. Unlike fucking Sheswick over here, who went on to practice on more people and then get people sick and God knows what. And, hey, dentistry is dangerous. You can actually die from stuff that happens in your mouth. You can get infections that go to your brain, that go into your blood, into your heart. This is no joke. I know that I'm a very, very funny man, but what I'm saying right now, it is no joke. Let's get back to the story. We received notification from some local residents about a week ago that they believe they may have had the exact same scenario happen to them, says McPhelmy, the Marietta police spokesman. We have to remember that she is innocent until proven guilty, he says. This will be a slow, methodical, I almost said methodological. This will be a slow, methodical investigation for us as a police department because we are slow country folk. We don't know what she did, and we don't have very many beakers or rulers, so we're not going to be able to do a lot of tests. That was very generalizing and condescending of me. I like the country better than the city, so please welcome me back next time I'm there, people of the trees. No, he's right, though. I do respect that he said we have to remember that she's innocent until proven guilty. That is a beautiful thing about America. A lot of times lately, we've got a lot of lynch mob mentality where we just go like, the internet has voted, thumbs down, Roman Empire style, guilty. I don't believe in that, and I think most of my fellow decent Westerners and Americans don't believe that either. We have to remember she is innocent until proven guilty. True, bro. As we say in Mexico, es verdad, mijito, which means it's true, my tiny boy. At this time, no charges have been filed in Marietta because the investigation is just beginning, he adds. Sheswick is free on bond, according to Donovan, where you'll find her down at the local swap meet doing root canals. I'm just joking. I added that part in. Thank you for doing that story, Jeff Truesdell. So cool. That was funny, I think. Wasn't it? It's kind of depressing. This one's good. Unimaginable. A Georgia mom allegedly confessed to fatally shooting a 2-year-old daughter. What? A Georgia mother allegedly shot her 2-year-old daughter and then confessed to the crime. On Tuesday evening, the Covington Newton County 911 Center received a call from 31-year-old Jennifer Michelle Bella, allegedly saying she had shot her daughter. Oh, my God. Upon arrival at Bella's Oxford home, deputies found 2-year-old Natalia Bella unresponsive. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Bella has been charged with murder, aggravated assault, and possession of a firearm during commission of a crime. While searching the crime scene, deputies located a pistol, spent shell casing, and spent bullets. Authorities believe Bella and Natalia were alone when the shooting occurred. As Natalia's body is transported, oh my God, very terrible, tragic. It's unimaginable, the neighbor told. Michael Robinson told WGCL. Beautiful little girl. Well, thanks for saying that. Like, if she was ugly, we'd feel any fucking less sad. Thank God she was beautiful. Otherwise, no one would care. I guess that is true, though. That is how we work in our human small brain parts where we just go, well, was she pretty? 'Cause that's a real loss. I don't care if she had a fucking mustache. I'm sad this little girl died. Beautiful little girl, he continued. She'd be over there. Oh, she'd be over there. Man, I just made him sound stupid. I'm a bad reader. Slayton, I got to hand it to you. Well, I'm not going to hand it to you in person while you're reading. I'm still going to bust your balls on every episode of Crime. But when I'm here by myself and I'm just talking to the audience, I know it's a hard job to read, man. Hats off to you, bro. But still, man, keep your fucking thumb stapled to the paper and learn how to read, Slayton. Beautiful little girl, he continued. She'd be over there in the swimming pool, and you'd hear her over there splashing water and giggling. God damn, this is fucking depressing. I got to find a funny story for you guys because this is just, like, not cool. Dude, my kids, too. I'm like, how the fuck? I don't even know if I've ever been mad at my kid. However, not being inside this woman's head, she might have had a mental issue, and again, we just don't know. Either way, we got to keep her locked up from the rest of us, regardless if it's her fault or not. I can't have that shit around me. I don't want this around the innocent, civilized people of the world, but still. It's still a shame. It's just like suicide. You're like, what went through your head that made you do that? Was it like when I'm trying not to have another slice of pizza and my brain goes, just have another slice of pizza, and then the other part of my brain goes, don't have another slice of pizza. You don't want it. You know you don't want a slice of pizza. You made a promise to yourself last week. You wrote a contract out that said, if I stay away from carbs for 2 weeks, I will treat myself to a new T-shirt that fits. And then the other part of my brain's like, just have a slice of pizza. You only live once, bro. What if you die on the way home? You want to not have the fucking Hawaiian slice with the pineapple, bro? And then I eat the pizza. Is that what these murderers and suiciders do? Is like they're just like in their head arguing, like, just do it. Just kill yourself. And their voice is like, don't kill yourself, man. You got so much to live for. Come on. Come on, tomorrow's going to be fun. Come on. We're going to have a good time. Don't you want to see season 3 of Westworld? And then the other part of your brain's like, just do it. And they listen to that part. Like, is that what it is? And I'm not having empathy for their struggle? Am I the jerk? I don't know. Either way, this lady killed someone, and that's fucking terrifying. Let's do a funnier story. Jennifer Lawrence's nude photos, the hacker sentenced to 8 months in prison for 2014 leak. I'd say it's more than a leak. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying it was probably a flood, a jizz flood. Not that I partook in that. That's disgusting. Those photos were stolen. That's rude and gross. This story's by Dave Quinn. The final 4 hackers who leaked private nude photos of Jennifer Lawrence and other female celebrities back in 2014 was sentenced to 8 months in prison on Wednesday, according to a press release from the United States Attorney's Office in District of Connecticut. How's that work when you're in jail? What are you in for? Double murder. What are you in for? Been stealing cars. I was a hitman for the mob. What about you? Well, in 2014, I leaked several nude pictures of celebrity actress Jennifer Lawrence. Hey, what are you guys doing? Ow, why are you beating me with soap inside your socks? Why are you tattooing on my forehead? They tattoo, like prison tattoo on his forehead, leaker. He'll never get another job again. George Garofano, 20. Oh, he's just a kid. He's 26. You're sending him to jail for fucking leaking pictures? Is it that bad, or am I doing straight white male privilege right now? And all the women listening are like, yeah, it's that bad. It's practically rape. I don't know. I'm humbly standing before you saying, from my perspective, it's gross to leak naked pictures of someone. It's also just kind of part of being a celebrity, and then also, I mean, the guy's 26, but I haven't met him. He might be a fucking total asshole. He probably is, right? He stole fucking pictures from a person and then sent them out. Do you guys know this? You guys, the same guy. My amazingly helpful friend Mike Schmidt at the Comedy Store has let me know that the guy who leaked Jennifer Lawrence's naked pictures to the world, he also did the same thing to Nelson Mandela. Oh. I read him. He sent me a message. He wrote a joke for me, and I took it as a full literal. Mike, what was the joke supposed to be? No, read it. Read it in your pacing. I want to hear it. Let my audience hear it. The crime audience is great. They love jokes. I'm just saying, you might have some new fans. It's better this way.
Better. They never know what it was supposed to be.
Okay. It's actually funnier that I messed it up and thought that like Nelson Mandela had naked pictures of himself released. Oh, that'd be hilarious if that was on the internet. If women were the same as men, like, oh, leaked pictures of a celebrity, if they were all excited to get like Nelson Mandela with his big old honker. Just his big old fucking dick. He had a big dick. That's what they said about Nelson Mandela. They used to call him Nelson Mandingo. How you guys doing tonight? Okay. George Garofano, 26, had pled guilty in April to engaging in a phishing scheme. Oh, it's fishing with a PH, like the shitty band, not like fishing like the like angling. Engaging in a phishing scheme that helped him illegally obtain usernames and passwords to private Apple iCloud accounts for approximately 240 people, many of whom are in the entertainment industry. Emails appeared to be from Apple's security account he sent between April 2013 and October 2014, encouraging victims to send him their personal information. All right, this guy is he's a criminal. Okay, I defended him for a second, but this isn't just some dude that like happened upon pictures. This guy is going through people's private stuff and then releasing naked photos of them. That's not cool. I don't know what the right amount, what right term is. I'm not a good judgment guy. All of my ideas of crime and punishment is like, are they safe to have in society? Leave them alone. Are they dangerous in society? Get them the fuck away from the rest of us. That's how I judge everything. I don't really know like how many months he should have. 8 months sounded like a long time. Maybe it's not that long. Maybe like with good behavior, he's out in like 3 weeks or something. I don't know how it works. He admitted he then used that information to steal said information from his victims, including their private nude photographs and private videos. Authorities said usernames and passwords, as well as the materials he stole from the victims, were also traded with other individuals. Oh, it's like a weird black market thing where you traded their info. That's fucked up, George Garofano, 26. But he's still young enough to like maybe learn that that's wrong, and then maybe he can still be a decent person in 10 more years. Lawrence was one of Garofano's victims, as were stars like Kate Upton, Kirsten Dunst, and Megan Good. Their photos spread online without their consent. Here's a quote. When the hacking thing happened, it was so unbelievably violating that you can't even put it into words, Lawrence told The Hollywood Reporter in November 2017. I feel like I got gangbanged by the fucking planet. Like, there's not one person in the world that is not capable of seeing these intimate photos of me. You can just be at a barbecue and somebody can just pull them up on their phone. That was really impossible thing to process. Yeah, that is fucked up. That is like an invasion of privacy. And yeah, I did say, well, they're in the entertainment industry, but still, it's still like a dignity thing. I don't know. It's still fucked up. I can see where she's coming from here. 3 other hackers who participated in the leak have already been sentenced, The Guardian reported. They will be put to death on Thursday. No, I'm just joking. That part I added it to see if you were listening. The Guardian reported each getting between 9 months and 18. Oh, some got more. I don't like your look on your face, Constantino. 18 months. Garofano, not Constantino, Garofano. Garofano will report for his 8 months on October 10th. Oh, he's going to miss Halloween? Bummer, bro. The U.S. Attorney's Office said, and is currently released on a $50,000 bond. Jail time will be followed by 3 years of supervised release for Garofano, authorities added, and 60 hours of community service. I mean, that sounds right. I think they should have just given him like a ton more community service. Although I guess some people always argue that that's like a form of slavery. So I don't know. See, I'm not good at sentencing people. I'm just good at saying, is this guy dangerous to us? Can I have this guy walking around our neighborhoods? Like the guy who stole the fucking the dinners, who was skipping out on dinners. It's like, yeah, it's fucked up and he's got to pay for it. But I was like, does he got to go to jail to pay for it? Can he just pay the money back, then get fined and go like do some like community service? Because like, I'm not scared of that guy being around all of our kids. You know what I mean? That guy's not. It would be interesting if that guy also went to dinner with Jennifer Lawrence, so he skipped out on her and then this other guy stole her naked pictures. It's like, God, leave Jennifer alone for Christ's sakes. Criminy, give her a chance to take a nap. Well, getting a text from her friends like, did you see what happened? When I first found out it was happening, my security reached out to me, Lawrence told THR back in November 2017. It was happening minute to minute. It was almost like a ransom situation where they were releasing new ones every hour or so. I mean, at least she's like, she can't be ashamed of her body. She does have a beautiful body, right? Like when I'm fat and slobby, I am so scared of people seeing me naked. When I'm not fat and slobby, I'm just like, whatevs, bruh. This is what I got. You know what I'm saying? Just shaking what my mama gave me. I'm not saying it makes it any better that someone did that to her, but I'm also just like, at least you don't have to be ashamed. You have a beautiful body. You don't look scary naked. When I'm naked, I'm like, oh, God forbid someone, dude. I used to have the biggest fucking love handles. Oh my God. Muffin top. I'd have friends that were like fucking 30 pounds fatter than me that looked better than me and looked thinner than me because their fat rested beautifully on the front of their belly. And I was like, I don't have any belly fat. It's all just hanging off my side. I look like one of the characters. You ever seen the cartoon Oblongs? I look like I should have been animated in that. Just with like, just flubbies on my sides. Like, oh, I hated looking at myself. I'd look in the mirror and be like, oh, why? I'm an active person and I starve myself all the time. Why do I have love handles? But eventually they go away if you work out. I mean, I consider mine gone away now, but I still have them compared to someone with a sexy bod. Like, if you compare me to Jennifer Lawrence, you'd be like, yeah, Shefsky, you have a fucking disgusting, your body looks like the middle of the elephant man's head. That's what your midsection looks like. Like, you look like pizza dough when the guy's trying to throw the dough, but the phone rings and he's the only one because the other two guys called in sick for the shift, so he's got to go grab the phone, so he just leaves the dough just blobby, like partially. That's what it looked like, my midsection. It was so sad. It's much sexier now, though, guys, just so you know. An outspoken supporter of women's rights, the actress said the hack even made her question her viability as a role model. This is quote, I think like a year and a half ago, somebody said something to me about how I was a good role model for girls and had to go into the bathroom and sob because I felt like an imposter. I felt like I can't believe somebody still feels that way after that happened. She said, it's so many different things to process. Man, I totally feel for her. That's fucking deep. But this also shows the objectification of women in our society, and it also shows how retarded we are about sexuality in the Western world. What about someone if Jennifer Lawrence had dirty sex videos and naked pictures of herself, how does that make her not a role model? Is she a good person? Does she care about the well-being of people around the world? Does she treat animals and children with kindness and respect? Does she try to find other solutions besides violent conflict resolution? Does she share her wealth and her joy with those around her? Like, that makes you a good... You're still a role model, Jennifer. Just because you had naked pictures? I'm a dirty, kinky man. I'll have some wild fucking weird sex if you want. I'm not proposing to Jennifer Lawrence. I'm just saying in general. Does that make me a bad person? I feel like I'm a really good person. But if you ask me to choke you, shit. As long as I can get in writing, that everything's safe if anything goes wrong, I'm down. You can have kinky sex. You can let a woman put her finger in your butt while you're making love and still be a great dad. At least I hope so. Oh, no one had to hack me to fucking find that out about me. Am I right, folks? Well, I don't have any videos of my wife putting her finger in my butt. And she's not going like 3 knuckles in before you guys get all excited. I'm just talking about, just a little bit of the button pusher. Try it. If you're listening to this and you're like, men don't do that. Well, just men do it and just try it. And trust me, you'll understand. You will come very hard. You'll look like one of those cartoons where like the train whistle blows and the smoke comes out their ears. Like, you will come. You will come very hard. And there's nothing more I want in this world than for peace, love for all creatures, and everyone to come really fucking hard. Together at the same time. I wonder if we did it if we all came together really hard at the same time, like if we could create some sort of resonant vibration around the earth. What if it destroyed the earth, though? What if I was like, it will heal everyone, and then it just like made all the volcanoes erupt? You know what? Let's come at separate times until we can talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson about this and find out if this is a safe thing to do.